They all get in their coffins, which the coffins look pretty comfortable, actually. Like, I think I would have done just fine. Yeah.
Tyler, room for two. We could have squeezed them.
Keep your beard keep me warm.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I am standing on $5 million of real cash. Competing for this money, 100 of the strongest contestants on the entire planet. Let's go!
Spot on. What up, guys? Welcome back. We are Beast Games contestants, Ian, Tyler, and Briley, and we are recapping. This one's episode 7, if you can believe it. The season is just flying by. So if you haven't watched the other 6 episodes of Behind the... Well, it's not Behind the Beast. It's just the behind the scenes kind of revealed by contestants. So make sure you go watch those. We have an album for that. So now we're on episode 7, and... the last episode was episode 6, and it ended with both of you getting taken out. There's a cliffhanger, right? And the cliffhanger is who is Nick and Monica's, whose heart are they about to smash? And wouldn't you know it, it's Katie. Oh, man. Katie with a C, right?
Katie with a C.
Katie with a C. So my dyslexia, I'm like, I don't know if it was a C or a K, but and Katie was part of the Floor 2 Alliance and was tight with Nick and August, Pilar, Jonas, Josh, was in that clique. And so that was interesting. Maybe Briley can shine a light on why you think they took out Katie.
I kind of knew that. So I was out first, right? And we don't get taken to our hotel immediately. I sat in the van for a good while waiting for whoever the second and third person was going to be eliminated. So I sat there waiting. I knew Tyler, obviously. They're going to take out me. They're going to take out Tyler. I just knew that. So I knew Tyler was next. Also, I knew who it was. I was going out there. I kind of assumed it was going to be Katie too, because there was definitely an awkwardness between Nick and Katie when they got back. You could definitely feel that. They were together all the time. And then just back from the island, there was definitely a disconnect between those two, versus what you had seen the first, 3-4 weeks prior to that. So I kind of assumed it was going to be me, Katie, and Tyler. And I told Jimmy, me and Tyler and Jimmy were all sitting there, and Jimmy asked who was going home. I was like, Jimmy, I'm gone. I'm a goner. I already knew it before we started recording the heart smashing anyways. So I had a feeling it was going to be Katie just because of the awkwardness that was within the city. But then I also when I went out, when I got eliminated first, I saw Tyler and Katie's bags next to mine, so I knew it was both of them. I had it when they gave our bags back, it was all 3 of ours were next to each other. I was like, oh no, poor Katie, she's gonna be heartbroken. I knew, I was like, she's gonna be so caught off guard because they promised her to a T, you're safe, you're good. They didn't tell me that, I asked them, am I good? And they were like, yeah, I don't know, they never told me a solid yes. So I was like, okay, it was confirmed. I already knew it, but it was confirmed. But they gave her solid yeses, So I was like, oh, she's going to be broken.
All right, so what's interesting, when we were on the island, so I got even closer to August and to Nick, and we spent all day by the ocean, playing volleyball, chilling. We had a lot of really good conversations and about, bringing home some money, getting some money. We just gotta, that was the thing. I couldn't come home empty handed. And same thing I know for Nick. August was a little bit more stable financially. He's there for the experience, which I totally get. And I was too, but I was like, I got to bring home something. So we connected off of that. And when we were connecting off of that, we were talking about Katie, because this was right after the Bribe Tower and Cannonballs. And there wasn't much conversations in between Bribe Tower and us leaving. And what she had said or alluded to at some point after the Bribe Tower was, I think I need to distance myself a little bit from the group. And what it could have been was, in case cubes come, I don't want to be forced into this group. So there's validity to that, but also the validity to what I understood was that as she was watching Nick, who she knew needed money, turn down $1 million for her I think there might have been a sense of, I don't know if guilt is the right word, but maybe like she felt bad that she wasn't able to allow, or that she felt like Nick had to turn that down for her, right? So it was really personal, right? So fast forward into this moment where her heart's being smashed, there were things that she could have done to better articulate to her team, maybe why she was wanting to distance herself, or maybe why she wanted to play a more widespread game, not all her eggs in one basket. So, yeah.
I think I watched, she had an episode with her in August yesterday, and I watched it, and she does speak pretty in detailed about why she did that. But yeah, I think the main reason was because on season 1, they forced people into the cubes. Like, they picked their teams. We weren't able to pick, right? So they put their closest people into the cubes with them. So that was her like main like goal in like kind of separating a little bit, was to make it look like she had connections with more people. So they kind of separated those. But yeah.
So just because we have a special guest here, real quick, he wants to say hi, and I think it's a good transition then, Briley, to you talking about, come here. There we go. You talking about your transition. This is Dundee. He loves to hang out.
Mine. Yeah. So honestly,
transition to the family visits and what happened there.
Yeah, this was like the hardest episode for me to read. Like, obviously, if you're in it, like, you're reliving it, you push emotions down, you kind of forget about them because you're under the NDAs, you don't talk about it. So like reliving these episodes, like I've been totally fine until this last episode. And this last episode, like, really, I cried. Sucked to watch. Because everybody brought their families and their brothers, sisters, moms, dads. They got my dog there. So like here's something really cool that they didn't know. So the top 13, they brought all of the families for the top 13 out, right? So while our families didn't get to come into the city, like, we did get to go to the hotel and meet them, which was really freaking cool, because I think being eliminated that night, and like, I don't know for anybody else, but like going home and like sitting in a hotel and like having to like dwell on that by yourself would have been rough. So like we did have our families in the hotel there. So that was like a huge, like that made getting eliminated like way better that night. But yeah, I think they were listening to me, because like when there was like the girls pod, like when we were all 25, or when there was 100 of us, right? Like everyone's like, if we make it to the family episode, like who do you want them to bring? And I was like, I think they were listening to me over they are listening. There's cameras in the pods, right? So like I said, I would love for them to bring my boyfriend and my dog. And they got my dog there. Like, my dog would have been so famous. Like, the dog running through B City. He would have been so cool. But yeah, like reliving that, like, it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah. Ty, what about you, man?
Yeah, I guess that's FOMO, right? I had my wife and 2 children there, and they're, of course, big Mr. Beast fans. And so I'm eliminated, taken to the hotel, and I see them, but we're, of course, really happy to see each other. Haven't seen them in 5 weeks at this point. It is tough to watch, because of everybody, on the planet, me, Briley, and Katie are the only ones who are, just a few minutes away from being able to provide that special experience for our families. And so I think of everybody watching it, it's pretty tough for us, especially. And my wife we watched it actually early this morning, and she was crying because, she was seeing how close she was. And so it's kind of like we can imagine us, in that scene, and part of episode 7. And so it's pretty tough to watch, honestly, when you're that close.
Yeah, it's super hard. I left the cubes, and then it was the next night. So I thought I was flying home, and they said, no, you're flying to Panama. We need to keep you here. And I remember I looked at Klitz and I was like, brother, I want to see my family. Like, can I fly home and then fly back later? And he's like, no, but what if I bring your wife out here? And I was like, yes. So when your family was there, my wife was there, right? And yeah, I remember leaving the cube, and we were talking in the cube, and message my boyfriend, message my wife. And so right when I get out, I find them and message them, and I'm like, man, these two are amazing. I love your family to death, yada, yada. And then, I think it was Megan and I were talking back and forth a little bit more than Mather, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm flying out there. I'm so excited. Like, and in my mind, I'm like, man, I hope that you get to go in the city. Do you guys recall we had that conversation on the grass probably the first week? Remember when we were talking about like our teams of 10, and I was like, I just want to get my family here. I know what it means, because when family gets here, that means that we're all in the money, Like I remember, I think many of us were emotional at that. I was emotional when we were talking about it. I was like, listen, I just got to get my family out here, So to be that close, man, it sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, definitely the biggest bummer of it all so far.
Yeah. So then, their families come in, and I think it was awesome to see, Tyler with his boys. I resonate as well. Ty, I know you do too, resonate with, Ty's story, wanting to spend more time with his family and, be able to gain some financial freedom. So I resonated with that. It was awesome seeing, August and his wife come out. That was awesome. Nick, his sister, his mom come out. Like it was like the thing is that when you're in the show, you're there, you're gone for 4 or 5 weeks. Like you can't talk to anybody. And although I would say our relationships are true and genuine, the three of us, now we kind of know that hindsight, right? And in the city, we knew it, but there was still the moments of like, is this person going to have to betray me? Are you going to be put in that tough spot? Whatever. So to be able to have the family members who you can trust, wholeheartedly, like there's no other feeling when it's like, oh, I can be myself with that one person, or 2 or 3 or whatever. But so crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, you put me in a bummer mood now.
I
Now
know.
I'm reliving
I'm like-
it. I watched it yesterday and I got completely over it, and now I'm reliving it again. I'm
Man.
like, God.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep going here. So Katie's out. Family comes in. Family leaves. And now what's the transition from there, Ty?
So then, they get the
torches, right?
Huh?
They get torches, right?
Yeah. Well, they have the dinner. Yeah, they have the dinner, and that was a pretty cool scene. Looked like the Last Supper, and
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then they get the torches, and they start heading out, and they see. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and part of the application process, is asking like, are we afraid of heights? Had different questions, and one of them it said, "Are you okay with being buried alive?" And I remember, on all the ones, I was just like, oh, I would skydive, I would do all these different things, like that'd be fine. And then I saw that one, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'd want to be buried alive. Like that was the only one I was like, I would actually be, because I don't like, I'm somewhat like, I guess claustrophobic. Like I don't like being in tight places.
Is that why you were always so like jittery when I tried to hug you for so long? You're like, Ian, get out of here. And like you're in my beard and you're like, I can't breathe, right? Was that it?
I just didn't like the way it made me feel all funny inside. Beard smell.
You get used to it.
Beard smell like juniper berries and honey.
You didn't want to get stung anymore.
That was one of the ones in the application that I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. So I think if it were me walking out with that torch and they said we're about to be buried alive, my heart would probably start racing a little bit. Like, what's this going to look like,
Yeah.
For sure.
Honestly, it didn't look too bad. It looked like you had space. It was well lit. I was talking to someone last night. I was like, they should have turned the lights off.
I will say, I was like, because that would have freaked me out too. My heart would have been racing until we got up there. But like just looking and watching Big Tyler, I was like, if I just look at Big Tyler and see how much room he has, and if he has room, we would have been fine. Like I looked at him, I was like, oh, they have so much room in that. That's not like a skinny little narrow coffin. Like they have room to like move, So I was like, it might not have been that bad.
There's like headlamps. They got blinkies. They got some
They got Feastables.
There's the part where August is like on his hands and knees because of the spider. I'm like, you can like crawl around in there. So I would have self-eliminated if there was a spider in my coffin. I saw it too. There was a frog in hers. Like you can kill a spider easy enough with a shoe, but like what do you do with a frog? My gosh.
Like,
I thought
you ever see Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Where he takes the frog and squishes it.
Oh, man.
Remember Joseph saving the frogs in the city, throwing them over the wall?
Saving them by hucking them over a 20-foot wall.
Yeah, poor frogs. Anyways, I thought it was really cool with the graveyard idea and having tombstones for all the contestants that were no longer there. So you had 190 tombstones, I guess.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. I thought that was a really cool scene. Like it kind of reminded me like when you go to war museums, how they have like a World War I museum, they have a poppy flower for every American soldier that died in World War I. And when you see like 80,000 or however many thousands of, soldiers that had died for America, it's a good visual. And that was a pretty cool visual to see 190 people that you've beaten at that point, So,
yeah.
I always thought it'd be cool if I could see like all the guys I've beaten in strongman and like see all their graves out.
I know. I wonder what mine would have said, because mine didn't show, but it'd probably say something like 45 minutes is her cap for a rope, for like a hang, 45 minute cap.
It probably says heart was smashed.
They probably made all the tombstones prior to you two being eliminated. That's why they didn't have like this special one for you, because you were still in the game. But yeah, I got one. The Island winner. That was pretty cool that they featured that. They had Jeff, they had JT and JC. They had Akira. They had a handful, which was pretty cool to see. So then they walk up to the grave site, to their coffins that they get to climb into. I would have done it. I don't think I would have had a hard time with it. Let's talk about first the captain. So one person gets to stay out, and you have Monica. She says, "I've got the coin. I'll stay out," because they don't know. It could be elimination. They don't know. And then you have Nick, and he's like, "Well, I feel comfortable staying out." And what you're seeing is a bit of a trend of leadership. And once you're in a position of trust and leadership and whatnot, then you kind of continue down that path. Typically, you've seen it in season 1, from the bribe tower to the trolley problem and who kind of gets picked. And now fast forward, you have it here. When we think about even back to when I was in the game, not saying I was necessarily the captain for our obstacle course, but it was me and Briley, and then, hey, we got to get Ty back, brought Ty back. And then, we were on the course. I was going to go first. Then, Eric started shouting at you, Ty. So we changed things up. And then going to the island, I stepped up to be the captain for that too. And then, self-eliminating. So you end up kind of getting not necessarily like specific roles, but I'm not surprised at the two that stepped up, because they were just captains prior to. And what are you guys' thoughts on how that played out, the dynamic of who you would line up behind? And maybe you can add your 2 cents on who you would line up behind.
I thought the dynamic was pretty predictable, like of other people who would step up to be a captain. I think Monica, with her having the coin, she was going to try to play that card. That makes sense to me. Nick, he was always, I think, wanting to show leadership and be kind of in charge and be in control of the situation. I think it was a smart move on his part. I was kind of not necessarily surprised, but I was thinking, I think Hannah could have stepped up possibly. She was also a bribe tower captain. She's very well liked. I don't think nobody has anything negative to say about Hannah. I mean, how could you? And maybe Brett and Corey could have gotten behind Hannah. I don't know. That's the only person I think I could see winning besides Nick is maybe Hannah, if Brett and Corey would select her. Other than that, I think it was going to be pretty much Nick.
Jim and Monica would have as well, I think.
Yeah, Jim and Monica would have picked Hannah. Like if you don't go with Monica, then Monica would have went with Hannah. But yeah.
I was thinking Corey. I was actually surprised. Like, I think Corey. If Corey would have stepped up, I think Corey would have had a good amount behind him too, just because he has 0 enemies in that game. Like, Corey's just a good dude, like through and through. So I think Corey would have taken most of that, honestly.
But I think he would have been making a statement had Corey done it against Nick.
Right, for sure.
So That's interesting. So you have Monica with the coin, or you have Nick. Who are you guys choosing?
Nick.
100%.
You don't like Monaco, Briley? Why don't you like Monaco?
I mean,
I'm lying.
I still to this day, it's not that I dislike Monica. She just played a game differently than like I just disagree with the way she played her game. But like I don't care. Like I have no judgment against her. It's not that I dislike her. I just have different ways of presenting myself. But Nick, honestly, it would have been like because at the like if you think about that, if I was there, Monica would have stayed to her word, right? So it would have totally made the dynamic much different. But I think Nick, regardless, just because this is so shitty because Ian had like hardcore vouched for Nick after he got back from the island, right? Like hard. So then like I even gave Nick every single one of those votes in the cube.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Nick. Like I haven't even had like a conversation with him yet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know about his like wrestling yet. Like it wasn't until after that I had that one conversation with him. So like I gave Nick all of the
Tallies.
in the tallies, yeah. All based on what Ian had said about him. So like, and Ian said like he really needs the money, and I'm like, I would want someone like if I was there, like even now, like I want someone to win this game who like it will genuinely change their life, right? So like I've gotten so many questions of like who would you have picked if you would have won the Smart Challenge, but I would have easily been behind Nick just because he needed it, and I knew that based on what Ian had told me, and then I had that one conversation like he was struggling, so I would have been behind Nick for sure.
So I got two parts to this. So number one, I stand behind all that. I stand behind like those conversations that I had with Nick in August. Like they were genuine. It resonated with me. I could tell that it was not gameplay. They weren't just saying it to get my vote or to whatever. And I have since talked to both of them after the show. We've hung out, and who I got to know on the island is who they actually are. Okay, so I stand behind that. That being said, Riley, I've heard you mention a couple times that you didn't really know Nick as well, or some of the other contestants as well as, or at all, compared to the girls, because you were in the pod. Why do you think that is? Like, because I feel like we had time to get to know more people. Why do you feel that you didn't get to know as many people as well?
Honestly, it was just that group of people, right? Floor 2 very much segregated themselves from pretty much everybody from the get-go. Like, and they'll admit that. They even admitted that. And Katie admitted that, like, after Pilar left, she was like, well, shit, now I don't even have a single girl. Like, maybe I should, like, branch out a little bit. Like, it took me forever until you guys left for the island. I didn't really talk to Katie much either because they separated themselves. And that was fine. Yeah. I'm not going to go interrupt them. I'm like, hey, I'm Riley. Like, like, I just, for what? Maybe in hindsight, maybe I should have, but yeah, I mean, they separated themselves, and I'm not one to like barge in and push in on something like that. So I just never really like clicked to like maybe I should have to get to know Nick a little bit better in August and all of them. Just how I played my game. Yeah.
Well, to go back to answer your question, I wouldn't have picked Monica or Nick. I just wouldn't have voted, I think. I just would, because they both smashed my heart. Like, so I'm not going to pick either one of those guys.
Your heart wouldn't have been smashed if you were there, right?
Nick, I remember Nick.
When
I thought I got closer to Nick, too, when we took the trip to Fiji. Like, he was on the airplane, and Nick is afraid of flying. And so he was having, like, a panic attack on the airplane every time we'd hit, like, a little turbulence. And I like, pacified him a little bit and told him everything's okay, man, you're gonna be fine. He even thanked me after for being nice to him on the plane, and he told me about his life story and stuff. But still, it didn't do any good. Like I didn't know they were kind of conspiring that I'd be the only guy that they would eliminate.
Mind you, I'm not there. This is an outsider's perspective. If I understand why you two were eliminated. You two were closer to me, and it didn't hurt anybody else in the game to get rid of you two. So you get rid of you two, and all the relationships are, if anything, better because now you showed loyalty to others, right? So you had Hannah and Katie, who arguably aren't as much of a threat. You have Brett and Corey, who is real tight in that strongman alliance, strong man alliance / floor 2. I'll add that into there, right? and Briley, because you hadn't connected like at all with floor 2, and which I had because of Jonas. But I was playing, but mind you, I love talking to people. So I'll add this, Briley. It's not that you weren't building relationships with people in the game. And I think that's a bit of the perception, because they didn't show it up until this point, because you were super close with a ton of people up until the obstacle course challenge, right? Mm-hmm. So both of those girl teams, you were super close with both of them. I know you were tight with Sydney, you were tight with Nikki, you were tight with everybody, right? I think it was, except for floor 2, and they did kind of alienate themselves a little bit. They were intimidating to approach if you weren't, I don't know if the word invited or whatever is the word. I mean, I would just walk up and be like, "What's up, guys?" But I had Jonas as kind of that connection, right? Mm-hmm. And so again, summarizing it here, it sucks that you guys' hearts were smashed, but with Monica being up there, and Monica, the biggest threat to Monica in the entire game was Briley. And who's the one closest to Briley? Tyler. And does it hurt any of the other people when those two leave? No. In fact, it probably builds more trust because you're keeping them. So, I think literally anybody else becoming a captain besides Monica, and I think you two are safe. I think Jim and Monica would have been tossed out, and maybe even Brett or Corey, although they were really liked in that situation, they would have been flipped, where they are the ones that are kind of expendable due to the relationships. You see it in the breakdown that they do, versus you're not getting rid of Tyler. So one little thing changes, and the entire rest of the game's changed.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny. I'll say this because if nobody watched August and Katie's podcast or YouTube yesterday, from the get-go, I think before the Smart Challenge had even started, they had what they called CBT.
Yep.
Katie, Tyler, Briley. They kept saying CBT the whole time. Like, they knew before Nick even won, like, Tyler, Briley, and Katie need to go. So CBT was a thing that all of them knew, which was super shitty, but I also felt, because conversations with anybody, like even a conversation with Corey, and I talked to Tyler a lot too. I got pretty close with Big Tyler, to the point where like just our regular daily conversations that we would had like felt really awkward. Like especially with Corey. Like Corey's a very genuine human being, so for it to like kind of feel a little awkward and like off with him, like I already knew it. And then
you knew it's coming.
I knew it was coming, yeah. And then remember, they all Monica ran into the boys' dorm, and like me, Katie, and Tyler were right there, and I'm like, oh, like something's definitely happening in there. I think Hannah and Katie Smart Katie were out too, but I don't think they were next to us. But I was like, Monica just stormed into the boys' dorm. I know something. I know they're doing something. And then we even asked them, I was like, what are you guys talking about in there? She's like, oh, just, nobody said anything, but I think that was when they created that CBT thing. And I'm like, oh.
I think Briley.
Like it all makes sense.
I think Briley's right, because it looked like if you watch the show, I mean, Nick tells Monica, he goes, all you have to do is beat Briley and Tyler, So even before Monica won that challenge, they were already aligned against us. So I don't know if.
But I think, you're playing a diplomatic game. You're playing a game that you need to keep relationships. That's what Monica is doing, and doing really well, where she's playing the fence, and she's aligning her position to wherever the dominoes fall, whether it's that way or that way, because Monica, to your face, was singing a different tune until she won, right? Briley, you said it. You're like, I'm tight with you, Monica, and things like that. And that's something that you genuinely felt like, yeah, I'm friends with Monica. Our rooms were by each other in Vegas and yada, yada, yada. So you thought you had that genuine relationship with her. And I think, again, had things turned out a little different on who won, then you guys would have been aligned, and maybe so aligned that going forward, maybe you're in the top 3, top 4 with Jim and Tyler and you, because you were the one that won the Smart Challenge, or you were the one that won that. So but she was willing to go where the wind went. The wind's going this way with floor 2. Okay, I got to go that way, and I'm sticking to that. It's kind of classic Survivor. But then, and then there's a situation like this, which is the 3 of us were unbreakables. There's a situation like Brett and Corey, unbreakable. The situation like August and Nick, unbreakable. Katie and Hannah, unbreakable. And Jim and Monica, unbreakable, right? So those are the ones that you can, without a shadow of a doubt, that's the way that that the wind is going to go. But if the wind gust is a little bit bigger and happens to bring in Briley and Tyler, then I think it would have happened. So I'll say that there's a lot of really good gameplays, and the game Monica is playing, I'm not knocking it, and I see the strategy behind it, even though it was at, you know, your guys' expense.
Yeah, and I think it was smart for them to eliminate us when they had the chance. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are savages. I wouldn't want to go against you. Although I beat both of you, I wouldn't want to go against you.
In what?
I love it. Not the floor press. I'm talking about the bottle flip and the ball hitting the markers and the Hot Wheels scooting. All the stuff that doesn't matter, I'll beat you at.
No, it's, yeah, again, I don't knock her for her gameplay. Like, it is a reality TV show, and like some people, like, lying is part of a TV show, like, especially when there's that much money. Like, lying is just part of it, so I don't knock it. Like, just because I didn't and wouldn't ever play a game like that, like, I don't knock her for it whatsoever. I mean, from a physical challenge, if it's any sort of other physical challenge, like, you want a better shot to win that money. And like, if me and Tyler were there, like, that chance like really dwindles for all of those people. So,
well, to that point, I feel like we were more. We stayed ready. There's the word. We stayed ready the whole competition. We continued to work out. We kept our rhythm. We ate better than others. Others like had Starbucks 24/7, just a gang of salt and caffeine, and we were going and we were having. Yeah, and sugar. We were going and having, you know, some of the real meals and choosing some of the better, you know, dietary options and things like that. And so, you know, I felt really sharp the whole game. It's ironic that after the game I felt so sluggish, but during the game I felt good, like the whole time. So, yeah. Anyways, so now the coffins, they hop into the coffin. Ty, why don't you take us to that point?
Yeah, so what they all get in their coffins, which the coffins look pretty comfortable, actually. Like, I think I would have done just fine. Looks like you can roll around. Looks like it's actually kind of like a little mattress in there, a little bed, you know.
Hey, room. Yeah. Tyler, room for two. We could have squeezed in.
Keep your beard keep me warm.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it wasn't too bad. And then they throw the dirt on there. And I don't know, does it look like they have lights even inside the coffin? Because like it's not even pitch black. So. The worst part of being in the coffin, probably right now, it looks like you just feel useless because you selected your captain and you're just at his mercy. So
that, and this actually just popped up into my head. I wonder if they had remember how hot it was, you guys? I wonder if there was any sort of airflow, like literally, like I think heat would have played a huge factor. Like, it was hot when we were filming.
You see him kind of cover up though with some blankets. It doesn't look like it's too hot in there.
Well,
they must have had some sort of airflow.
Thankfully, you know, we did everything at night. Like, if there's no way you could do that during the day, but at night it wasn't too bad, I bet.
Yeah. So to your point, you're not sure how long you're staying in the coffin. I reckon it was a while, because you get in the coffin, everyone gets in the coffin, and then Jimmy and Nick walk all the way to the basketball court, you know, where boom, it's the splitter steel, what's it called? Is it called splitter steel? It's not splitter steel.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Splitter steel. You have $1 million. There's 10 people in the game. You can take as much or as little as you want. Nick's up first. Briley, what do you do at that point?
I think they're all splitting equally. Honestly, I think even if me, Tyler, and Katie were in there, I think we all would have split it evenly. Like, based on how much we talked about this game, like, we saw this game coming, right? So, like, based on this game and everyone, I even think Monica would split it. I think Jim would split it. Like, I genuinely think everyone's going to split that. I know it, like, they make it seem like Nick's going to take it. I would actually love if he took, like, if they somehow game plan, like, for 5 of them to take, like, 200 each.
Well, so there's 6 in his line. That's what I was thinking. There's 6 in his line. You have 6 people that backed you, and you have 4 that didn't. In my mind, I split the $1 million by 6, protect my people, because the rest of the 4 are expendable anyways. You just proved you're not aligned with me. Okay. Right?
Yeah, so we'll see. Like, I still, like, based on how much we talked about that, I really do think it's going to go. I think everyone's splitting it. Tyler's shaking his head like he doesn't think so, but
I think
it's
he's going to
be
take.
split.
I think he's going to take the whole million. I don't know.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh man, that would be crazy.
It is ironic. It is ironic the backstory that they've been showing. They had him talking to his mom, which I really felt like he thought it was like a thing she'd be upset at, but it's not. She's proud of him for turning down $1 million. But are you like Tawana in season 1? Are you the one that turns down $1 million 3 times? Like, are you that one? So, Nick turned it down once. What is his duty to turn it down again? You know what I mean? Now, I know I don't think he takes it all. I know he cares about many people in his line. And so that's why I think, like, would you feel bad if, and I'll ask both of you guys this. So you are the captain, you are Nick, and you have Monica on the other side. Monica that, kind of screwed you over, is playing both sides. You have Jim, who, hasn't completed a challenge. You got Hannah and Katie. Now, mind you, I really like Hannah and Katie, so I would want to give them money. But my point is say you were second. Say that I went first. I'm not saying I would do this. Say that I went first and I took 200 grand. And then Briley, what are you taking? Are you following suit? 200 grand, or are you saying, no, I'm just sticking with the 1? What are you doing?
Depending on who is in that line, I would do the math and take the 200 with you.
Okay.
Knowing the next person.
Two. Ty?
It's difficult, yeah, because if you're in control and you have a team of, say, 5, and 200 gives you all 200,000, and you don't necessarily have any loyalties, and you've actually been wronged by the other 5, it's kind of like this is the part of game where we show our power, and they would do the same thing to us in the next challenge. So
I think so.
Because also you're not eliminating anybody. So like that's the other good piece about it.
And I want you to think about this, because Briley and Ty, you guys are out of the game. Have you talked to Jim? Have you talked to Monica? Have you talked to Brett, Corey, Hannah, Katie, et cetera, right? So this is the opportunity for you to, based off of what you know now, like hindsight, taking 100 grand versus 200 grand versus 50 grand or whatever, here's your opportunity. This is the ultimate dilemma. And also now you got to understand and you got to think the very next game that money's going to come into play, right? Did you guys see that the cubes are different colors?
No.
They're green.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
Okay. So they're probably all going to be in there and call each other. I want your votes. I'll give you 50 grand.
Ah, wow. Yeah, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Some things to think about, right?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, at that point, there's you didn't promise anybody anything at that point. Like, so
yeah.
if I was following suit and it was like it went in order of that, if you took 200, I would take 200, assuming Tyler would understand 400's missing, so we've each taken 200. You need to take your 200. Right. Yeah.
So could people not have any power in that game if they don't have the money?
Yeah.
Sorry. So let's summarize. So Ian thinks Nick's going to take more than his fair share, but he's going to leave money for his close buddies.
I'll call it because there's 6 in the row, so I'll call it 160 grand, 150 grand.
Okay, you think he leaves money for basically the plan is that 6 get money, and the 6 get equal amounts.
Yeah, and I was talking yesterday to Jonas, and he was saying take 200. So him, August, Tyler, Jack, they all take 2, and then Brett and Corey split the last 2, and they each get 100. I mean, that seems pretty fair. Like.
And Briley, you were thinking he would just take his fair share at first, but now you're thinking he's going to do what Ian's saying? What do you think?
No, I think everyone's getting 100K. I would love it if he didn't. I would rather some people not get money in this show. But I do think it's going to split evenly, but it would make this show much more entertaining to watch if they split it to where it was like you said, like 6 in line.
I think he takes the whole million. That's what. I don't know. That's why I'm gonna unpick that.
Now let's rewind all the way, because the 3 of us and everybody in the whole game had talked about, at least specifically our group. Like I remember me saying it probably 20 times. We just got to get to top 10. There's money for all of us in top 10. And I was committed to that notion and to my people that I committed to everyone getting money in the top 10. So he's not taking all of it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Tyler, I want to ask you this because let's put it into hypothetical as if we were to win. Like if I won the Smart Challenge and we somehow got you to win Smart Challenge. Because I talked to, again, this is the first
if somehow you were smart enough to win the Smart Challenge.
If somehow I didn't fall from the pole and somehow people backed us in getting you across.
So if it were us in charge, okay.
Because I talked to August yesterday for a little bit. I haven't really talked to August much since the show or whatever, or even on the show. I didn't know August much, but I did. This is the first like full YouTube that I've watched. I did watch all of Katie's and August thing that they watched yesterday, and August said with such confidence that I didn't like him, and I'm like, where did you like? This is why people believe things on the internet, right? Like August full up said Briley doesn't like me, as if.
Well, hold up. Do you recall our first conversation? And I walked away. I'm like, that girl hates me. So yeah. So I see where he can get that. If you haven't talked, I see where he can get that.
Briley was nice to me when I first met him.
I was very but me and August not that it was like a very deep like personal talks, but like me and August were fine in the city the whole time. Like we bullshitted and like we had like a friendly banter, like, but there was never anything that I did. I have very bad RBF too, so like maybe I looked at him wrong and he was like, she don't like me.
I think it kind of, unfortunately, I feel like I had a big impact on that because, you know, I had kind of been getting built up to a villain from the obstacle course because of Monica and JT, and then, you know, while I was away, you know, the city was kind of building against me, and I come back, no one thinks I won, and who were my number ones? You two, right? And
no, but we're talking in real life right now. Like, sure, in the city, whatever, but like we're talking real life. Like August genuinely yesterday on his podcast said Briley doesn't like me. I'm like,
but whatever. You haven't talked since, right?
Like a couple back and forth, like a couple like Instagram replies, like story replies, but that's really about it. But I mean, it's not like it has been complete. Like I have not said a single word to Monica or Jim, but like there has been a couple back and forths between me and August. But moral of the story, we talked. August actually asked me like, if you and Tyler won, who do you think you would have eliminated? Right? Because there's everyone saying, well, Briley would have gone against Monica, and I like if it was me and Tyler, I would have convinced. I would have done my very best to convince Tyler to keep Monica and Jim, because that's the word I set up there. Right? So I would have convinced Tyler. And how do you convince Tyler about Jim? Well, Jim sucks at challenges. He's somebody that you want to be in a challenge because likelihood of him not finishing is pretty freaking high, right? So that would have been like kind of my argument to keep Jim. And Monica has the coin, and I mean, again, I promised up there. So like, can we please keep, you know, the girls, because I know the girls, Monica and Jim, and then it would have left like, okay, well, who are the three? And this was like something August asked me.
So I would have agreed with you at this point. I think we could keep them since that was part of your word. I think Jim's kind of lousy at events. Monica has the coin. All right, you sold me. So now we move on. Who else?
So now what?
Now who we want? Now convince me. This is fun.
So here's my first one, and this would have like broke my heart because like he is hilarious and he kept all of us like on high spirits. Jack. I would have eliminated Jack strictly because one, I didn't know him very well, and two, I heard that he is actually extremely well off. So I'm like, he's also a very young kid, so he doesn't have family, doesn't have a girlfriend, he has no one he needs to provide for. So I'm like, really, in reality, like he doesn't need it. It's not going to change his life. So Jack would have been my first for that. Second would have been like a toss-up for me. Brett, strictly because I don't know him at all. Like he just doesn't like to talk to people in general. Like he's just very quiet, right? So I didn't get to know him really at all. So Brett would have been my second option probably. And then between Nick and August, like I would have relied heavily on Tyler because you just spent 8 days on the island with them.
Well, and again, like I really talked up Nick needing it. I'm sure that would have still been resonating.
Yeah, I think we could have agreed on those. Jack, August, Brett. I was actually thinking keep all the girls in the game. And I wasn't close to the guys that were left really. Like they kind of as you can see, those last weeks, you even saw like I was a little sad that one night because Ian was gone, and you're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Ian's gone. I don't have his beard to keep me warm anymore." No, it was because I did notice a lot of the boys were separating themselves from me and conspiring a little bit. So
It was
I didn't have
at that point.
any love
At that
lost
point, it's
for the
easier
boys.
to. Right at that point, it's easier to. They're not as close to you. Like yes, you were in like the strong pod, and you were part of kind of that brotherhood. Like if you think back, had you been in dodgeball, had I been in dodgeball, like we would have cemented ourselves more into that, but we weren't. And so at this point, Ian's gone. Like, well, like it's obvious that Tyler and Briley are close, and we're not as close to Briley. So if we distance ourselves a little bit more from Tyler, it'll make that decision a little bit easier, So I don't know. Like I get it all. The way that it's panning out, it makes total sense, and it's almost predictable to someone that's in the game and sees it.
But I could have agreed with you on those three, Riley. And actually, but if we had really sat down and thought about our best chances to win the $5 million, like we may want to even consider cutting somebody who is a strong character like Nick, get him out of the game. Tyler, who nobody has anything bad to say about. So these are people who do have good stories, and you feel for their families, which makes them more of a threat for us to be able to win the game. Actually, so
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that would have been the tough one. Like we would have really had to like dig into like deep conversation of like who that third person would have been. Because like for sure, I think Jack and Brett, and then I would have been a toss up between. It probably would have been Brett, August, and Big Tyler. Honest, probably. Although I got like decently close to Big Tyler.
You got to think he's way more of a threat in this point than the two girls. And even like Jim and Monica, like you gave your word to at that point, and there's something about like the intensity of the moment of a real high tense situation where you both are up there hanging, or I'm hanging against Ethan and JC, and what is said, the bonds, the trauma building, the hey, I'll do this if you do that, that. Those moments like ring true, All
right.
Yeah.
Let's keep playing with this because this is fun. All right, so it's it's me and you, Briley, and say I'm the captain, or say you're the captain. You're the captain, and you're in Nick's situation, and I'm in a casket, and okay, we eliminated Jack, August, and Brett. So now you know who's left. You get to go to the $1 million. Are you going to leave us a little bit of money? Maybe me and Hannah, or me and
So he gets to call the order, right?
Yeah.
He gets to call the whole order. Okay.
Start with how much you're taking.
Yeah, how much you take?
Well, I gotta see. Honestly, I think I would play it exactly how Ian just said that. I would split it for how many people are behind me. I do.
So I'm gonna call your bluff, or not bluff, call you out a little bit. I think you would have taken 100. I think had I gone from the jump and I set the tone, you would have been quick enough to follow suit. I could be wrong, because I feel like you would take 100,
So, like,
and
yeah.
I feel.
So like if I went before you, Briley, and I'm thinking, well, I got Briley, I want her to be my teammate all the way a little bit more. I got Hannah, who's a wonderful person. I'm picking the order, and I say I take 250,000, and you get to go second, and I'm telling you basically, I've left enough money.
Take 250.
I've left enough money for four of us. Do you take the 250 and stick with my plan?
Yeah, you're probably right. Like, because we've talked about that, like, it's funny that, like, putting myself in that situation now, because I said from the beginning I would split that evenly, and we talked to all of those people. If I was first, I would 100% take 100,000, like, just because it would be a game by game basis too. Like, I gave Monica my word up there, so I was gonna do exactly that. And whoever I had talked to, I would do exactly that, right? It would be, especially top 10, it would be game by game. Just because I promised Monica up there doesn't mean I would promise her something moving forward, right? But I did say I would split that evenly multiple times through multiple different people.
No,
So if I was
think-
up,
What Nick could do though, he could say, "Well, I'm getting my fair share for everybody who like voted for me, and the people who voted for Nick to be the captain are all going to get money."
That's smart. I don't think I would have thought about. I don't think I would think about that in Nick's position though. I would like I don't even think anything other than 100K would cross my mind.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I hear you. Ideally
You're calling me
before
out on
this.
my bluff for trying to take more. You're
Yeah,
calling me out saying, no, you're not a shitty person. You would split.
Well, it's just because we did talk about it so many times, and you know, I feel like the people on the other side, and mind you, we're now out of the game, right? And you guys are directly out of the game because of people that are still in the game. So I think it's easier right now for you guys to say, oh, well, they would have screwed me over or whatever. So I would have taken, 250, whatever, versus you are still in the game. You now don't have maybe as negative of relationships, because everyone in the game, I think right now is still pretty kosher, pretty cool with each other. They haven't like the screwing over that they've done has just been to you two and Katie. It hasn't been to each other. And so, had us three been in the game at this point and relationships were still on the more positive side, because I don't think they've really got negative in there yet. It's on the more positive side. We probably would have done 100 across the board. But as I'm sitting here outside the game and I'm looking in at the game and I know more aspects of the game, and I'm a little bit more resentful towards, Monica and Jim for taking you two out. And again, this might be the wrong call. I'm not resentful towards Nick for the decisions he made taking you guys out, because I feel like that was Monica saying, no, we're taking these two out. Like, and then he goes, fine, but I'm keeping August and I'm keeping Tyler and Jack. Like, you get that, I'll get this, and then we'll keep going. So anyways, it's interesting. It's a good cliffhanger. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it is a good one. A lot of speculations now.
Yeah.
I think the least likely scenario is that he takes 100,000. It's gonna be either.
Really?
I think it's either gonna be $1 million or it's gonna be he leaves some for his boys. That's what I think. Or the people that voted for him. I think he had 6. Do you have 6 votes?
It'd be
Yeah,
way
he's got
better
6.
TV if he did that, for sure. All of the games have been busted by people not wanting to lie and bluff, like so much has been busted that it's like, man, we really kind of...
Well, it kind of sucks too if that's the way he does it, because Katie and Hannah aren't going to get anything from this,
I mean, they made the decision though.
Yeah, and they're two wonderful. They're a couple of my favorite people too. Katie and Hannah are so sweet.
Yeah. Dang.
Cool.
But I will say, like, just because they're the last 10 that are there, they're all... I don't know if it's real. Even in the city, like, you try to keep a good relationship with people in the game, but like, is it real? Is it genuine? I don't think so.
Aside from,
Like
I don't know.
How many
it's about to
people-
get wild though.
Everybody
How many
being nice to
people,
Monica.
Like, let's be like pretty candid here. How many people like so much shit talking on Monica and Jill? Like they don't like Monica. Like, it is real. Like, people like were so annoyed with them. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think it's legitimately genuine. It's more for, we want to make sure we get as many votes for the game as possible. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but like, I don't think the relationships are like actually genuine.
You're gonna see something. It's not gonna be $100,000 across the board, because we are now at the pointy end of the stick. It's top 10. It's eat or get eaten. That's where we're at across the board. Like, and they all are probably just now kind of, it's hitting, it's realizing, I just saw my families. It's real. We've been here for 5 weeks. We got one more week. Who's going to end on top?
Let me ask you guys this. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Who do you guys want to see win this?
I'm voting for Hannah. I like Hannah. She's cool.
Okay.
I would like to see her win. Or Katie. I like Hannah and Katie are my two favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
I am okay with Nick winning, with August winning, with Tyler winning, with Hannah or Katie winning. Jack, I wasn't as close to. I'm neutral with Jack. Like, we weren't tight, we weren't enemies. Like, really, any of those, I'd be okay with winning.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious. Yeah.
How about you?
So I want this money.
Did I say Brett and Corey? Did I say Brett and Corey?
You skipped
No,
it.
Oh, I meant to. No.
Basically,
You can't. That was the most diplomatic answer. You just listed like 8 of the 10 people. Like
8 out of 10. Hey, 8 out of 10.
everybody but Jim and Monica. That's all. That's all the people you.
Hey, I
at
wasn't
least
trying to
had
say their
2.
name.
Like I narrowed it down to 2. I mean.
I want this money to go to someone whose life it will like truly make an impact for. Again, I don't know how true this is, but I heard Jack already is very well off. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have kids. He's fucking 19 years old. Don't want Jack to win. Love him to death. Hysterical, but he will be just fine in life. I didn't realize August was well off until today, I guess. What well off means, whatever. But like, if it's not gonna like truly impact and change his life, I'm like, yeah, I'm good on him. Hannah, Katie, it will truly impact. Nick, it will truly impact, regardless of how bad that dude screwed me.
Corey and Tyler, it will truly impact.
Corey. So like
Brett,
I don't know Brett. I don't know if he's well off. He seemed to be fine. He didn't really seem to like. He's like, now that it's here, it's real. But like, he didn't ever like make anything of like he needs it or it would like.
So is
like,
your stipulation is it you really need this money if you're gonna win it? That's your stipulation.
Yeah, I want it
not
to,
as
like,
much gameplay.
Yeah, I want it to like actually change somebody's life, like genuinely. So Katie, Hannah, Corey, Nick. I'm just kidding.
Tyler,
but like he's in the military. Like, don't they get paid pretty well? Like, doesn't he get like a pretty good? No. Okay. So
well,
like,
military
yeah, I guess
people typically don't.
but they get.
But what it does is it frees him up for retirement and being able to spend time with the family. For me, that's a big one. Like, I really hit hard with that.
Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, I guess one of those 5.
If I'm on a game show with Briley again, I'm gonna say I need this money to sponsor Grid League.
I'll give it to you. If you give the Grid League $1 million, I'll let you win. No.
I want South Beach Palms to be like the Patriots of Grid League.
Yeah. Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I just want it, like, I don't really care which of those 5. I just want it to, like, actually impact someone in, like, a genuine, like, holy, like, cry way. Like,
yeah.
Wow, that dude deserves
I'd
that,
pick,
right? Like,
and I like,
girl.
And Hannah and Katie, and if I had to pick between the 2, I'd say Hannah just because she turned down the money on the bribe tower, and she was really solid on the bribe tower. I don't think she was gonna press that button at all. So,
yeah,
I was impressed by her, I guess, morality. Like, she was just a good person.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, crazy cliffhanger. You know, we're excited to see the next episode and see who all gets money out of the top 10. And I guess we can all kind of say we called it. We all called. We were all singing that tune the whole time. Top 10 is going to get money. Top 10 is going to get money. Especially because there wasn't as many bribes or as many, as much money or Lamborghini is thrown out, up until this point.
Remember how many times we said that? Like, only. It's funny that we say only. Like, what was it at that point? Like, so 1 million, 1.8, 1 million, so 3, like, let's say $4 million. We're like, only $4 million has been given out, as if like that was like little.
Yeah.
But I mean, only 4 million up until that point. Like, there's a lot of money to be given away in this show still. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think next episode looks like it's gonna be pretty fun. I saw in some of the teasers they were driving like some fancy cars around, Yeah, so something.
Can you imagine winning a Lamborghini? Oh my gosh, that'd be so dope. Everyone seems to think that I went and bought one. They're like, oh, you bought a Lamborghini? I thought you said you had a family. I'm like, I didn't buy a Lamborghini. It was a joke. Settle down.
Those comments, the internet's so funny.
Ian's wife So your wife is really sweet, but if you went and bought a Lamborghini, I'm pretty sure your wife would be like, Ian.
No, it was a McLaren, but it was a Hot Wheel.
That's funny.
My wife what?
I said your wife's really sweet, but if you went and wasted like money on a Lamborghini, I'm pretty sure she would be like, no, Ian.
Yeah, she'd kill me. That's hilarious. Excited to see you know, the next episode and who gets what money. But just make sure that you hit the little bell after you subscribe so that when the new episodes drop, that you'll be notified of that. And again, we got 3 more episodes. We're going to do some recaps. Hopefully there's a reunion. We can do a recap on the reunion. And I think good news is season 3 is about to start recording here this summer. So this means that we'll be back together again for season 3, recapping that. So lots of good things coming and happening. Yeah.
Hold on, let me interrupt. Did you guys watch the behind the scenes?
No, it wasn't loaded yet.
Okay, so this is the weirdest thing. So I was getting some, when I did that Ask Me Anything a few days ago, people were referencing things of like, did I completely black out when I watched that episode? Because I'm so confused. Like, that was not there. But there is a behind the scenes, but it only comes up when I look on Prime on my computer. I watched it this morning.
Oh.
It doesn't come on my TV. It's the weirdest thing. So I watched the behind the scenes for this, and they said I would have shit myself if this was true. So they asked them, is there anything they changed on that 100-foot on our pole challenge? And they said they were thinking about not having harnesses on us and putting water under us. So yeah, I am terrified. I am terrified of water. Like, you can guarantee
they would
my
have had
legs
to
and my
lower
arms.
it.
Yes, they did. They did say it would have been lower by at least 60
50.
feet. So it would have been like a 50 or 60 feet. So it would have been a 40 or 50. You can guarantee I'd still be up there today. Guarantee.
You would
I
have
do
won.
not. I do not do water. Like, that would have changed completely. Like,
You
holy cow.
you sink, you don't float.
Have you seen my legs?
Yeah, you got the dense muscle.
I'm a sinker. No, I'm terrified of water. Like, I can't even judge. It would have completely changed my heart would have been going through the roof. Like, I was so excited. I love falling. Like, I love free falling. Like, I've been skydiving, so I was excited for that free fall. But yeah, water would have changed my heart rate a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to see. So yeah, watch it on. If you guys haven't watched the behind the scenes, check on your computer, because for whatever reason it's not popping up on my TV.
Cool.
Yeah.
Will do. Well, just for the record, I've tried to end this podcast like 9 times, and Briley keeps adding more conversation. So, Briley, is there anything else before we go?
No, but I wanted to put that out there because I didn't know what people were talking about either. We are good.
Yeah. Okay, just messing with you. Awesome. Yeah. So tune in next week. We'll have another episode. But all of our links are down below. So make sure that you follow the 3 of us, and we appreciate your continued support. So until next time, we'll see you later.